On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on? A blessed and wonderful Monday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off in the morning here with some updates. Then of course, we get into this morning's set of stories. So them all dirty boy presently on your screen. Young little youth them, but them actions, cars, if you describe them as such. So me not even did know say more than the amount that was seen on the video that was involved. The police is now stating say 8 of them, but 6 of the 8 has been taken into police custody in relation to the hold on and take of the underage girl, and they are to remain under the supervision of the state whilst they seek legal representation. So the man in charge of the St. Catherine South Police Division, that's Deputy Superintendent of Police Michael Campbell, says that the boys were picked up at separate locations over the weekend after the police commenced a probe into the incident captured on video. And of course, you know, said that video has been making rounds all over social media, where the girl was seen in a hold on and take type of situation, and then one of the boys physically assaulted the girl. That definitely made a lot of people angry, disgruntled. They wanted to tear them to threads. It is also being widely stated and circulated that one of the boys were caught by an angry group of men and he was properly trashed. Yeah man, get to understand say man then drop some big liquor and rump, leaving him rather sore in certain places. Now the police is stating that the boys will remain in protective custody. And as for the girl, it is not known if she is with her family or she too was placed in protective custody. The police are also urging members of Jan Public to refrain from sharing the video, as this can further traumatize the victim and, by extension, affect the successful outcome of the case. The police are also reminding the citizens that sharing such content might constitute a breach of the Child Porn Prevention Act, and the persons found guilty are subjected to imprisonment for up to 20 years. So what I think the police are stating here is that the fact that it reached them and the relevant authorities and they're dealing with it now, it's now time for you to stop circulating the video, because I'm pretty sure they would not prosecute the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or even sixth person that shared that video. It's because of its constant sharing why it reached in the hands of the authorities in the first place. But I think they're just saying that now that they're handling it, stop sharing the video, which is understandable. So anyway, my peeps, I could get on into this morning's set of stories. Now, a whole heap of people lose them 3 pints from Friday up to this morning. Countless amount of families are weeping and mourning the loss of a loved one. Whether that loved one is a old dirty kind of boy or just a regular member of Chan public. People are mourning the loss of their loved ones, nonetheless. So we're going to kick it off over there in the eastern end of the island, coming out of St. Thomas, where a 28-year-old man identified as Ramone White. Them call him Spoon or Soapy in our streets. A man lick him way, no longer among the land of the living. Him come from Black Street in a Landoe in a St. Thomas. So it is reported that sometime around 6:45 p.m., Ramone Wright was at his business place when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman who fired several cans in his upper body and head, leaving him a certain type of way. He was, however, assisted to the hospital, but sadly it is said that he was pronounced you know what upon arrival. The Morant Bay Criminal Investigation Branch is presently investigating that particular fatal knockings and clappings. And still in the parish of St. Thomas, but this time in Yalas, a place known as Montpelier. A man get knife up, no longer among the land of the living. So the man in question is presently on your screen, and he has since been identified as Rushawn Murray. 23-year-old, him come from a place known as Knightsville in Ayala, St. Thomas. He was knifed up repeatedly so by a criminal element at a wake in the area. It is said that both men had a verbal turn, physical altercation, and a knife was brought into play. And he was knifed up repeatedly so, losing his life, same place, on the spot. Boy, may I tell you my peeps, the thing rough. Now, still in the eastern part of the island, but this time more so in the Kingston Eastern Police Division. In the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Bayshore Park community out of East, so right out of Harborview, basically for those who don't know. Along Balkan Avenue, a fatal knockings and clappings go on the 23rd. Yeah, man. So sometime about 3 p.m. on the 23rd of November, a brother known as Trevor Hunter, but them call him Stone, a long-time criminal element, all knockis and clappis within his own right. He make it far still because he's now 60 years of age. Them say that this brother here is a businessman who come from a Villa Avenue in a Harborview, that's so. He was taken out in a hail of bullets whilst sitting at his business place at 12 Balkan Avenue by armed criminal elements, traveling in a white Toyota Fielder motor car. It is said that the man them roll up, window, wind down, and them just gun him down. Yeah, man. Now, this brother here, is a controversial figure that has had a troubled past and had many run-ins with the law. From as far back as in 2012, 2013, somewhere thereabout, a big robbery did go on downtown where them got thief a whole heap of jewelry out of a jewelry store. Even a police officer did get caught up in a robbery there and end up lose all him work. Anyways, them end up hold on upon them stash off the funds, them end up go to prison, come back out of prison. I guess him go for the stash and open up a little small business, a little shop, wholesale type of something. And I go and chill and build. But over the years, is a man who involved in a whole heap of robbery and in a whole heap of mix-up. Him get himself somehow involved in what I go on in the war between warring factions in his community. And I guess him pick a side and decide for stay on Theme side, and the next side just come slap him away. Yeah, man. So you don't know, I saw the thing set in a bad man place. And speaking about bad man place, a section of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Andrew South Police Division known as Olympic Gardens along Seaward Drive is most definitely one of them places they known as a bad man place. Yeah, man. That community experienced another double fatal knockings and clappings over the weekend. So a man identified as Clive Anthony Lyde, 44 years old, come from Seaward Drive in a Kingston 11. And the next man identified as Rushawn Palmer, 32 years old, said to be a vendor who come from Seaward Drive, also was taken out in a hail of bullets by armed criminal elements. It is said that the criminal elements roll up in a car and step out and just start knock it and clap it upon them bilious, leaving them lifeless, no longer among the land of the living. The criminal suspects escaped in that waiting motor car. The Hunts Bay CIB is presently investigating that particular fatal knockings and clappings. Yeah, man. Now over there in the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Catherine North Police Division, an alleged top knockers and clappers was fatally taken out during a police-reported confrontation in the troubled community of Trial Heights in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, last night. Now the deceased man has not yet been identified by the police. The incident is, however, being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations. So it is reported that sometime around 11:30 p.m. a police party went to the area to conduct an operation, and according to the police reports, whilst entering a premises, the team was challenged by the unidentified man who was allegedly armed with a handgun. It was also stated by the police that the police reportedly took evasive action and fired in the direction of the now deceased man. He was injured during their clapback. The police reported that a Beretta 9mm pistol was seized from him. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was officially pronounced, you know what? And still in the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Catherine North Police Division, the community of Quarry Hill that are in a Klansman place in a Spanish town was rocked with yet again another fatal knockings and clappings. Now the man in question has since been identified as this brother present on your screen, 24-year-old Zidan Downer. It is said that he lived in the community of Quarry Hill. Now it is reported that sometime around 8 o'clock, explosions were heard near a church in the community. And when checks were made, it was revealed that Zidan Downer was suffering from a portion takana wounds all over the upper body and head. He was, however, rushed to the Spanish Town General Public Hospital, where he was officially pronounced, you know what? The Spanish Town police have yet to establish a motive for his fatal knockings and clappings. The knockings and clappings is being investigated. Yeah, man. Now over there in the neighboring Garden Parish of St. Anne, the St. Anne Police Division has been rocked with yet again another fatal knockings and clappings. Now St. Anne is affectionately called Garden Parish, but for some reason these criminal elements want to narrow down our beautiful Garden Parish of St. Anne into a burial ground. Yeah, man. Now the community of Bamboo in Hazelwood was rocked with a murder over the weekend. So the man who was on the receiving end of those fatal bullets has since been identified as Garfield Evering. Yeah, man. He's more popularly known in the streets as Dwayne. Big enough man, 50 years old. Say if you have a little small business in a Hazelwood, in a bamboo there so, you was taken out in a hail of bullets by armed criminal elements. Everybody I wonder what could have gone because Dwayne or Garfield as they may call him, no trouble nobody. So everybody I say, this brother I just go and make a business, make sure say every little thing, I work out right and go back home and the man them just come slap him or so. The people them vex, trust me. So now persons assigned to the St. Anne's Bay CIB is presently investigating his fatal knockings and clappings. So anyone having any information surrounding the whereabouts of the criminal elements who took this man's life is being asked to reach out to the St. Anne's Bay CIB. Yeah, man. Now over there in the neighboring parish of Manchester, the parish where the superintendent were in charge the crime is not out of control has been rocked with yet again another fatal knockings and clappings. Now this time the gun attack took place in a section known as Hillside, a place known as Makeshift Bar in a Hillside, Knockpatrick in a Manchester. It took place Friday night. It left one man lifeless, no longer among the land of the living, and a next man can up and seriously injured. Now the deceased has since been identified as this brother here, presently on your screen identified as Ricardo Williams, but he's more popularly known in the streets as Ricky, said to be a resident of Hillside. Now the knockings and clappings took place shortly after 9 p.m. when Ricardo Williams and another man were at a bar. The criminal elements roll up, jump out of them vehicle and just start fire bacon upon the two man them, leaving one lifeless and the next one nursing a whole heap of can of wounds. He's presently admitted in the hospital. But the thing about the fatal knockings and clappings of Ricardo Williams, is that it comes just over 2 months after Ricardo's brothers, a criminal element known as Sanjay and Andre Williams, were charged in connection with the fatal knockings and clappings of this man presently on your screen, identified as 46-year-old Kevin Brown, but more popularly known in the streets as Trees. Now, Trees come from a place known as Green Street in Knockpatrick, and it is said that Green Street and Hillside are presently warring factions. So local residents have expressed concerns over the rising violence in the area, which has disrupted the social atmosphere and nightlife in Knockpatrick and neighboring communities. So one resident stated that the ongoing violence is negatively affecting the livelihood of law-abiding citizens and their ability to go out freely. This violence is affecting everybody, especially those who are just trying to live their lives and work hard. The resident is calling on the police to intensify efforts to target the criminals behind these acts of violence. But guess what, Manchester residents and basically everyone right across the length and breadth of Jamaica from Moran Point to the Grill Point, the police cannot do this alone. The police needs your help, because without a complainant, without somebody who can definitively say yes to this or yes to that, the police can have all the information in the world and cannot touch the criminal element legally. So both residents and police need to work together to rid these communities of crime and violence. Now I remember Some time ago, a female came and hear us say police a text it pan the business owners and a them alone a feel the pinch. But you have to understand that it is within the confines of these business places that a lot of these murders are happening. That last one took place inside of a bar and many others before him. So this basically is just showing that Manchester's murder rate is definitely on a rise. And the persons who are tasked with policing these areas are to be cognizant of the fact that, hey, it is not like one time when Manchester was this nice little cool little chill spot where returning residents come and just buy their homes and just live happily ever after. Criminal elements have infiltrated these communities, and you need to build a stronger bond with the residents, and residents must also rubbish the thought about being labeled as an informer if you want to bring back your community to what it once was, because a community like Knockpatrick 10 years ago, come on man, it was nowhere near what is presently happening. And if you want it to return to its former glory, you have to do what you need to do to rid your communities of these criminal elements. Yeah, man. So since the start of the year, the parish of Manchester has now recorded 46 fatal knockings and clappings to the hands of the old dirty corner boy them. And this is definitely contributing to the ongoing concerns about crime in the region. The police has not yet made any arrests in connection with Friday night's fatal knockings and clappings and also the injuring of another man. The investigation is presently ongoing. Now we are going to go all the way over there in Hanover. We are going to talk about a knockings and clappings go on in a Kingsville, Middlesex. A brother known as Earl Noble. Some people call him Sour. 60 years old. End up losing 3 pints just like that. It is said that Sour is a shopkeeper of Middlesex district in Hanover. He was taken out in a hail of bullets by armed criminal elements. It is said that the police responded to a report of explosions heard, and upon their arrival, the body of the now deceased was seen around the counter of his shop with a whole heap of corn-up wounds to the upper body and head. The police stated that he had a fatal corn wound also to the forehead. The police stated that him could not survive that. The others probably, but the one to the forehead did it. Boy, may I tell you, it rough. And still in the parish of Hanover, Lucy, a place known as First Hill, another fatal knockings and clappings go on. A brother identified as Andrew Kerr, said to be 32 years old, a construction worker of First Hill in Lucy, Hanover. He too was also taken out in a hail of bullets by armed criminal elements whilst standing across from his house in his community. The man them a deal with the thing a certain type of way, and it is only when we the residents start take things serious and start push out these criminal elements, then and only then we will start seeing changes. But mothers turning a blind eye to what their sons are doing. Fathers are doing the same. Sisters and brothers are also turning a blind eye. Family members, friends and relatives are also turning a blind eye. But funnily, when it comes knocking on their door, they would have wanted someone who saw something to say something. It no work like that. You need to start push out your one. So when it come knock on your door, the example would have already been set and others would have followed suit. Now the last thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps. Same place in Hanover. The police seized this Glock pistol and several rounds of ammunition during an operation in Highfield District in Great Valley, Hanover. The police stated that whilst they were searching a residence, the officers discovered the pistol along with various types of ammunition, including shotgun cartridges. So those are the black and blue cartridges, 2 black, 3 blue. 3 individuals were also arrested in connection with this magnificent find, and investigations are presently ongoing. So another decent spot of work again by the squad of them. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.